I just recently acquired these new Tomica diecast Batmobiles. It's more expensive than Hot Wheels. It's not as cheap. For those who don't know, Tomica is a Japanese brand that makes diecast vehicles. As you can see here, it's just all in Japanese. There is no English writing anywhere. This says Batmobile in Japanese down here. And up here in red, that just says Dream Tomica. So that says Dream Tomica Batmobile and then Batmobile again. And I have two of them. So I have the 1989, which is my favorite version of the Batmobile, and I got the Tumbler from the Nolan movie. The Tumbler says Batmobile 4th. I don't really know what that means. 4th. Is it the 4th generation Batmobile? Is that what they're trying to say? Because it's not really explained. It just says Dream Tomica Batmobile in Japanese and then 4th. So they just come in these little plastic bags. Interesting packaging. Really no other protection, nothing to keep them from sliding around the box, right? It's just a plastic bag inside this box. These are my first Tomica cars, so I don't know if it's supposed to be like this or if I'm getting some kind of opened product. Okay, so immediately I can tell that the Tumbler is just much smaller than the 89 Batmobile, and the 89 Batmobile is much smaller. I brought these out so we can do a comparison. It is much smaller than the Hot Wheels. So let's talk about the size first. So this is the Hot Wheels 164 regular standard dollar Hot Wheels, and all of these are the same. I did different videos about these at different times, and I brought them out just to compare. And the Tomica Dream Batmobile is tiny compared to the Hot Wheels Batmobile. And here it is next to the animated series Hot Wheels Batmobile. And here it is next to the classic Hot Wheels Batmobile. And finally, the Batman movie Batmobile. And it's this car is a little shorter than the others. Lengthwise, it's not as long, and it looks like it's very close to the Tomica length, but the Tomica is still smaller. So not very happy with this in terms of size. I feel like it's a bit too small. I'm not sure what scale this is. Maybe it says somewhere on the box. I have to look. And this one is even smaller. So the Tumbler, which is supposed to be more like a tank, is smaller than the 89 Batmobile. Let me see how they look on the bottom. Okay, so this has a black bottom, and it seems to be plastic. So this is die-cast, this is plastic. And that says 2012 Tommy Batmobile 4th, made in China. This one is actually made of metal, and that says Batman DC Comics, and 2012 up here, made in China. It's a little bit different. So I wonder if there's like a more premium tier and a smaller tier that gets a plastic bottom and just gives you smaller scale cars. I'm not sure, but I'm not too happy about the size difference, especially considering that these are not as cheap as Hot Wheels. So if you buy $1 Hot Wheels and you don't like it, it's like, whatever, you know, just put it on the track, give it to some kids, you know. But when you're paying $10 for the car, you kind of want, you don't want to have flukes. You don't want to end up with inconsistencies, and you don't want to be confused about the quality that you're getting. Let's see how they roll. Okay, not bad. This one's a little rough. This one rolls a little more smoothly. Just for juxtaposition, let me roll a Hot Wheels one. Much, much better. It even bounced back. It hit something on my desk and bounced back. And then I'll roll these again. Not as smooth, not as nice in terms of rolling. I did notice that they have suspension, so I'll press this down and maybe you'll be able to see it. There's some kind of suspension mechanism. Let me zoom in. So if you see here, so if I press down like so, it goes up and down, and it also has it in the front. So that's pretty cool. Tomica gives you some kind of suspension mechanism in their cars. Let's try this one. So the front on this one has nothing, but the rear has suspension, and that might explain why there's so much space and so much wiggle in the back here, something I noticed earlier. So let's look at the Tumbler. Despite the tiny size, it's pretty well detailed. I do like the accents, the color, this brass color. You have it here in the back on the exhaust, you have it on the sides, you have it up here, and then you have it on the front around the wheels. So you have a little color, and that gives it a nice look. This back part here is plastic. It looks like this is plastic, this is plastic, the bottom is plastic, and the main body is metal, is made of metal. And then of course you have the plastic for the windows. You have the windows on the left, you have the windows in the front, and then you have the windows on the right side of the car. Good detail considering how small it is. The wheels are okay, not the best, not the worst. They feel a little loose back here, so if you can see, I can move them. There's a lot of give here in the back for the wheels. Front just has very generic wheels here, but the back looks a little bit more detailed and it looks a little bit nicer. They should have really done that in the front as well. They should have made this look similar to this. Maybe not as big, keep it at the same size, but give it a better look, make it look more like a military vehicle instead of giving it slicks on the front and the tread only on the back. Over here, this is like a window. So this is the same as the window plastic. It's a little bit hard to see. I'm going to try to hit it with the glare of the light. But this little part here is not made of metal. It's actually plastic, and it has a window-like effect. It looks, I don't know why they did that. I don't think that in the movie one they have a window here or glass here. So I'm not sure what's going on here with this part at the bottom. My feelings about it, it's so-so considering the price. You always have to consider the price. Do I like it? I do like it because I'm a fan of Batman and I collect die-cast Batmobiles. But do I think that it's worth the money? I don't think it's worth the money. Let's look at the other one. This one looks a little bit better. The paint is a little nicer. The size is a little larger. And the detail on it is very much the same as the detail on the larger die-cast Batmobiles I have. They painted the side here. They gave it the 2 gun compartments. You have the rear here. You have rear lights. That's painted well. You have red. And then the back exhaust. And you have the little vents here on the back. So good detail, good paint. They painted the front, which is even better than the Hot Wheels premium $10.89 Batmobile, which made this silver. That's in another video I did, and where I compared the Hot Wheels premium versus the Jada diecast. And the Hot Wheels one didn't have these lights painted properly. It had silver here. They painted the engine, and the rims are okay. They should be black, but if you look, they actually have the bat symbol on the rim here. You can't really see it very clearly, but it's there. The Hot Wheels one does not have that. And I'm talking about the premium 150 scale Hot Wheels. I have a different video about that. You could check it out if you're interested. But that's pretty cool that Tomica did this. So it looks like this one is better than the Tumbler. And the plastic is more clear here, and it goes all the way around where the windows are supposed to be. That looks pretty good to me. It looks good to me. I like this car. Now this, again, was the same price as the other one. So I paid around $10 for this one and around $10 for that one. If someone knows about this brand, they can tell me what's happening here. But they're the same price. This one has more metal and more detail and is just overall nicer. This one is so-so. Is this one fake, or is it a different tier, like a lower tier? But if it's a lower tier, why is it the same price as this one? And just one more time, here are the boxes. They look the same to me. They say the same thing in Japanese, and there isn't any indication that the Tumbler one is fake